quickly introduce Ady in a minute, and he can introduce himself in a bit more detail. But before we do that, I just want to, just for complete clarity, me and Ady do know each other very, very well. We've known each other now for, I don't even want to guess how long it's been, like
20 years.
20 years. Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah, at least I'd have thought. Yeah, a long, long time. So Ady's one of my best friends. We've known each other for a long, long time. We've worked together before in the past. We've had businesses together. And yeah, we've known each other for a long, long time, which is why it was quite easy for me to ring in to say, let's just go and do this and jump on in to do that. So I just wanted to add that clarity in there, just saying that we do know each other inside this. It's not just something we've kind of, I mean, not just met. So it might be an interesting conversation as we go through it today. But yeah, we'll try to keep it professional.
We'll keep it professional.
Yeah, we'll keep it professional. So do you want to, Ady, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself, tell us a bit about who you are and what it is you currently do, like what's going on in your business, in your life at the moment?
Okay, well, obviously, I'm Ady, and thank you very much, guys, for inviting me to do this. Okay, so currently I own a public gym that's a 24-hour gym that's obviously closed like everybody else's, and I have a food prep company that is doing very well, my own brand in protein and supplements, and I've just set up a full set studio for personal trainers and myself to be able to bring clients over. So it's set up to be able to cater for about 20-25 people, working with about 4 or 5 personal trainers to come in and bring their clients as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's and then obviously my online personal training as well, which is taken off quite well.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I'd say it's to say like I mentioned there, we've known each other for a while, and as you can imagine, I've always spoke to Ady about doing some online stuff, and he has dabbled a little bit in the past, but I think your heart's always kind of been with the in-person training.
I love face-to-face training.
Yeah.
I love the banter and training and talking to people and being with them. So the idea was always wanting to do that. I mean, the excitement part of PTD was always the bragging rights of, oh look, I've got an app. And the amount of attempts, obviously, yourself and Sarah was always trying to help me. So, I mean, and many times in Nando's, we'd be there 10 minutes in explaining how to do everything, and I'd lose focus onto Facebook maybe because I just didn't understand what you were saying.
Yeah, it did happen. There were good times, they're good excuses to have a little Nando's.
Absolutely. I mean, any excuse for a cheeky Nando's, wasn't it?
Exactly, it definitely was. It definitely was. But I think before we get onto the online side of things and talk about kind of how that journey happened and how that success happened online over the past, I suppose, year really, or maybe a bit less than that, maybe 7-8 months. Can we just talk about like kind of your journey so far? So like, obviously I know a lot of this stuff already, but you know, when you were working at...
I mean, 7 years ago, I was working at PC World, selling. I was an Apple expert, so selling iPads and Macs and stuff like that, or TV sales for PC World. But obviously, I wanted something else, so I became a personal trainer. Went to work straight away at a local gym called Golden Physique. Was there for about 3 months, 4 months, 3.5 months, I think I was. Had a fallout with a member of the staff there, so I pretty much says, you either get rid of her or I'm leaving. And I helped them open it as well. So it was a member of the family, so I shouldn't really have tried to demand that. Get rid of the family member or I'm going. Yeah. So there was that bye.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, I'll go and start my own thing. I think that's when me and you had spoken. And I said, would you be interested to team up with myself? And we started doing some personal training. So I found us a cheap, beaten up.
Oh, it's amazing.
Battered. And like limited amount of money. So it's like, right, okay, let's kettlebells, few benches, ropes, and that was it. Yeah. I mean, don't know if you can remember, like, people that was training was on tiles, carpet tiles. So if they run, the tiles
should fly out of the way. That was so bad in the early days.
Yeah, so we did that for a few months, and I was obviously working full time at PC World as well as personal training starting. And then, as I was obviously building it up, I think you'd started to digress away from personal training more onto all the stuff that you was doing and everything like that. So, the boss at PC World got wise to the fact that I was interviewing clients at PC World whilst working there, and so I had to leave.
You had to make a choice.
Became a full-time personal trainer, working crazy hours to try and make the money work. No money, fewer bits of items and stuff like that now on my own. And from then, obviously, sacrifices, spending every amount of money I had on more equipment, more bits, bringing more in, working 70, 80 hours trying to get everything sorted, done. I was willing to train people at 5 in the morning, not getting in until 9 at night. And obviously left. I had that studio fully kitted out that by then. Every extra bit of money I had went on gym equipment, more stuff to make it bigger and better. And then, then the original gym that I started at, they contacted me and offered me their gym because obviously it wasn't working out for them. So I was like, right, okay, yeah. So bought the gym on, the equipment, took the room on. So now I have a 24-hour run gym when it's open. I mean, the fact that it was the first place I ever worked as well, where I had the fallout, and now it's my gym.
Yeah, I did like the irony of that as well. I thought it was quite.
When they said, "Go and open your own gym," it's not as easy as you think it is.
Yeah. A few years later, you're buying their gym off them.
Yeah. Then I took one of the changing rooms out. Obviously, every gym I had or studio I've always put side businesses in. Like, I had a nail technician in this first studio. Like done the place up and that, and always had little side things. And then I set up the food prep company with a business partner that didn't work out with them, so I did it on my own, and it's taken off massively. So I've actually had the prep kitchen built within the same business building as my gym as well. So we have the food prep. It's doing well there, and then obviously I have my studio as well. So all from 7 years ago, being a TV salesman with no money, I now have a 24-hour gym, food prep company, a fully stocked, set up PT studio. I have my own protein and supplements and stuff like that as well. So I didn't want it to be where if somebody wanted something, I didn't want somebody else making money.
Yeah.
So I always thought to myself, well, everyone's like, "Hey, what's best protein tab? What's best protein tab?" Well, go and buy it from here, go and buy it from there. So now it's like, mine.
Yeah, come back.
Mine's the best. Have mine. Ady, I can't prep my food. Don't worry, we'll do it for you. Pay us to do it for you.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like we have conversations with people quite a lot about other aspects, like branches of different businesses. And I think what happens, I've seen a lot, is in the early days when people first start out, they try and do everything like that all at once. But I think to me is if you start off simple, keep going and just keep adding.
We've tried and failed many times.
Exactly, yeah. Like it doesn't work.
The protein side of things, I've tried. I mean, I have tried with the food prep company with four different people partnered with it, and it always tanked because they didn't have that amount of passion and want that I did, so it always tanked. So this time it's took off, but I mean, 4 or 5 times, and I was like, right, okay, well, let's go again. Everyone's like, well, it didn't work for you. Why are you trying again? Well, it's got to work eventually, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think in those circumstances, if I remember rightly, it was like, well, it's like when you do things too early sometimes, isn't it? Like you did the right time, you the right people around you, the right time, and the right audience. It's almost like because you started off with that, as soon as you simplified it, built on it, it's like, I've got an opportunity here, I've got an opportunity here. And it's almost like it tells you, doesn't it? Like your business tells you, like, take this opportunity to go and do it.
I think that always had as well from probably from the start till halfway through my career was ego took over a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, well, I've got a diary full of people, so no matter what I make, they'll all buy it. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, so like everybody does, put feelers out. If I started this, would anyone be interested? You got two people that said yes. You're like, right, this company's going to take off because two people said yeah, they want it. So there's always the mistake of having that ego thing of they'll buy it, of course they will. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, you were there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was trying everything way too fast.
Yeah, it was. It's a hard thing, isn't it? I think, and like you say, ego's a huge thing.
Yeah.
We've all done it. All of us have done it. Like it's just, it's a hard thing that kind of gives you that road. Almost, it almost blinds you, doesn't it, from seeing what's really happening, and then you just do things too fast because, like you say, you just think, "I'll do this. It's fine. Like that's going to happen." And I think when you kind of take that step back, don't let ego take over, and just think about it a little bit. You can actually, like you said, things just tell you to do stuff. Like your business gives you the data, and you're like, "Oh, this is the right thing to do now."
The thing is, as well, when you bite off too much at once, do you know what I mean? Yeah, sometimes I find myself completely drowned in not knowing what I was doing because I'm still building up my first studio, filling clients up, and then then I started obviously, bringing other personal trainers in, so I was filling their diaries. So not only was I doing my own work, I was now had the responsibility of other personal trainers with them, and then it was running from them. And then I'm thinking, oh, I can do this, and before you know it, I mean, you crash and fail. I mean, the amount of times going up for the first 3 or 4 years of personal training where I thought I need a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. I think everyone thinks that sometimes. Like, I could just come work at McDonald's and have less stress.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you're like, it can be overwhelming, can't it? I mean, everyone's becoming self-employed. Yeah, start your own business up. It's easy. No one ever tells you it really how it's not.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Yeah,
so hard.
And then you always think to yourself as well, that personal trainer on TV's loaded, so that'll be me next year.
Yeah.
It's really not. Yeah, so you always want to be the next Joe Wicks. Have we froze? Well, this is going down well. Okay, so it looks like I'm taking over.
There we go. I'm back. Sorry about that.
So, okay, looks like I'm taking over now then.
Yeah. I'll give you an idea. Just that connection.
PTD Ninja, guys.
Ady's taking over. I'm sure you did an awesome job. Sorry about that, everyone.
I was literally panicking. Pretending I'm not whilst trying to message you.
At the same time. Marcus was just saying there, little freeze frame of me looking happy, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anyway, so where we get to? We're talking about Joe Wicks, weren't we?
Well, I just turned around and said where everybody feels like they want to be able to be the next Joe Wicks within a year.
Yeah, it don't happen. Even ask Joe Wicks himself, he'll tell you it's a lot of hard work. It doesn't happen overnight.
It is a lot of hard work, but it's cool. I would never change it.
Yeah. No, definitely. So let's talk a bit about your kind of first steps to online. When you first kind of did it, and then we'll talk about the first few steps. So back what we're talking about, maybe July 2019? You first tried to have it online?
I just say, I mean, I started PTD 2019, July 2019. I mean, just to clarify, I looked at the account today just to see how far back I was. And so, yeah, literally 2019. And then I attempted many times with loads of different things. I'd create one thing and then I'd be like, oh my God, this is so hard. And I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it, Ash. Then you'd be like, right, listen, let's have a Nando's and I'll show you.
Yeah, someone Nando's, I'll show it you.
Yeah, so my mistake was that I was always putting too much pressure on myself for what I thought I should be doing online. And that's it. So I used the lockdown as my way through of learning because I had nothing else. I had nothing else to do. Obviously, nobody did. So I thought, right. So I started doing, as lockdown went in, I started doing little Zoom training for my clients. I mean, the way that I've got my client set up is I have a group membership PT, as you know. So I do 6 hours a week on a different choice of times. Certain people can pick and choose, and they pay me a certain amount of money per month, and then they stay members. So I have a PT membership group. So they pay me for that. So how I've done it is when we went into lockdown, they carried on paying me, but I carried on doing Zooms. And then if anybody's doing Zooms and if you say you like it, you're lying. Oh my God, I mean, I hate it so much. So I thought to myself, right, Ady, you have got a software here that can help you get out of the Zoom trap. So what I did was to try and be able to do it. I created that, what was it? I mean, Corona Fit, I think it's
Corona Fit, that was it.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a program. So like a 4-week program, a little bit of eat this, do this kind of. It was so basic, it was unbelievable. And then I started giving it I gave it my clients, and then I advertised it on my Facebook to give it out for free. So I just said, right, okay, here are guys, just stay fit. So I thought, if I get some people interested in it, and then after lockdown's over, they're going to start coming to my thing. So, and
back when we thought lockdown's only going to be a few months.
Yeah. So, I think that was like April time I've done that, and then
it's April 2020, yeah.
April 2020, yeah, during the lockdown.
Yeah.
So then everything I kept doing another one, then another one, was giving it away for free. And then what I'd done was, because people was complaining about gaining weight all the time, oh, lockdowns gain weight. So what I did was I created a shred program, which was a 4-week program where I literally put in the meal options that they were allowed to choose. They had to do the workouts, and then I gave them a certain amount of steps to do. And again, it was just basic, but it was a little bit more things in it. But it was literally I literally put like a video on it, just said, right, okay, if you're a female, this is what you can do. And then there was little Q&As and stuff like that. So I created a Facebook group so people could add to it as well. So when they did that, I put them on the group. And then that was July. So that, after I created that, it went crazy. And I sold 140 shreds at £20 each. I mean, you've seen it was in the papers for helping. There was people who was on the actual program on my shred where they'd done an interview with the local paper, stuff like that, for the city paper.
Yeah.
So so from that I've developed it more and more. So put more into it, and then after they'd done the 4-week program, it started occurring to me that I needed a follow-up for it. So I'd lost, obviously, after you've done 4 weeks, it's like, oh, do you want to do this shred again? But then it become more and more. So more detailed, more things in it. I mean, it's a massive, now it's a massive menu choice that people can choose from. There's my intro videos teaching people. I don't tell them what they've got to do. Okay, so this is the kicker, what I changed from, because it was always, to me, when you do a program for somebody, you're telling them what they've got to do. They're telling them what they've got to eat. Whereas now I teach them.
So what I do is now I teach them the purpose of why everything is. So they watch intro videos and stuff like that to be able to do it. So they do the shred first. It's a 4-week intro. And as I've obviously gone on, it's developed more and more and better. Like I've redesigned all recipes. So there's recipes within it. There's a massive choice of what they can choose. So from August or September, I think it was, might be September, I then started the academy, which was the follow-up. So after they'd done the 4-week shred, which was literally doing this the 4-week training program to be able to just drop the weight off. So it was literally that, a 4-week weight drop. Then they went on to the academy. Now the academy gave them a choice. So they could either stick with my shred and carry on losing some more weight, which I mean is great. Or they move on to the calorie options, which then you've got a calorie counter that works, calculates what they've got to do, and then there's my videos that teaches them how you calorie count, how you use MyFitnessPal. Then there's 300 recipes that they can choose from that I've had all designed for my own brand. The biggest kicker on this is this. I don't give a workout program, and this caters for everybody. There's nothing. It's not specific to one person. This caters for everybody. So when everybody joins it, there's a video that tells them how they can adjust and change their meals for themselves. So instead of me actually just saying, right, okay, go to the gym, do this in the gym, go to the kitchen, do this in the kitchen, eat this because I said it is. This is literally a case of, right, okay, well, do you want a burger? Here you go, there's a recipe for a burger. Do you want this? But this is how I'm teaching this. So this is how I'm teaching it. So I didn't want it to be where I've always thought to myself, or you've had coaches and stuff like that say, this is how you should be doing, this is how you should be doing it. I wanted to be able to cater for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Susan down the street that doesn't want to hit the gym but wants to lose some weight. But I've created a Facebook group that's got over 500 people now that all answer my own questions for me. So I've got like as you call them, like champions, but I mean, as soon as somebody's done the shred, they've already asked all the questions. So now when they move on to the academy, they're now my question answers. So they're now my little answers. So I don't have to answer anything. So if somebody says to me, can I have this? And then someone will say, are you on the academy or the shred? So if you're on the shred, no, you can't have it. If you're on the academy, then this is why I can use it. And I literally have to do nothing. It's amazing, honestly. And to watch, the way I wanted to do it was create like a little family community within everybody to make it so that they're not being told what to do, but taught why and what to do for themselves. So if they want to slip off for a week or two, or they want to slip off it for a month and go mental, well, go ahead. I'll see you when you come back. But they carry on paying for the academy.
Yeah.
So how they can do it is they pay £20 for the £4 kickoff. It's 4-week kickoff, and then they can do the $5.99 a month. Or I include like full workout content for £9. Okay, so it went from, when I started it in September for the academy, that started gradually going up, and then I really pushed it from December. So at the moment, I think, just since 2021 to now, I've sold, there's going to be 280 shreds now, and then there's about 240 people in the academy at the moment. So it's constantly growing each time. As I've said to you, I've got 20 people sat in my inbox now waiting for me to send it. So all I do is, hi, Ady, can you tell me about the shred? And then there's a copy and paste of everything, all the details of what they need to read. Okay, how do I pay? There you go. There's a link to my pre-made package that I don't have to adjust or change because it's the same every month. And then and then they go and join the Facebook group. We welcome them to the group, and that's it. Ask any questions on this group. Do not message me.
Yeah, leave me alone. It's an interesting model. I want to kind of break down. I've made some notes while she was going through that then. So I want to break down some of the processes and things to try and maybe help people that are watching this who may want to try and do the same.
That's why I said to you, I was a bit nervous about this because I know that I have broke all the rules of personal training where they're all like, $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, all the. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because like I mentioned earlier, we have so many people that come on here who normally say business coaches or experts in their different fields within the industry. We don't speak to too many actual trainers who are doing this without any, at the end of this, like, you're not going to sell anything to personal trainers. Like, you don't sell to personal trainers. Like, it's not something like we're going to sell at the end of this. So it's nice to have this sort of perspective of it. And I think, like you said, it's a different approach to, we're going low ticket here, we're going more high volume. But interestingly enough, a lot of time when we talk about high volume, we tend to say you're probably going to have to run ads and paid ads and things like that, which we'll talk about what you've done to market this. But I know you haven't done that. You've done it all organically. So we'll talk about a lot of that. Yeah, exactly. You pay nothing for it. And I think we'll talk about that as well shortly, because I know a lot of people will be interested to know how that went about. Yeah. But what I do really like about this is that change of thought process that you had through it all. So this idea that, you kind of got a position where, like, this is what you think your clients need. Yeah. And then eventually when you did it, like, through necessity, it was like, well, actually, no, this is, I need to kind of give them what they want, or basically sell them what they want, and then kind of give them what they need. And what they need is not me telling them as a trainer to go, you need to do this, and this. It's about giving them the tools basically to do it themselves and to become better at it. And
the way I've worked it is I've taken the pressure off what people have when it comes to making goals for themselves. Do you know what I mean? So when you've got that whole when people are scared to go to personal trainers and stuff like that as well. I mean, as well, my approach is brutal.
It's pretty brutal. Honestly, very honest, I should say.
Yeah, it's not even a little bit. It's, new people join my group and say, can't wait to start this, but Ady petrifies me.
It's only for your honesty. That's one thing I like about it. You've never been scared to tell people.
You might have people that say, I need this honesty, because they'll go, I've had a really bad day today, so I've overate. I'm like, right, okay, so what was your bad day? What did you have? So when they ask, do you feel better now? Do you? So it's like, well, no. So, well, why did you do it then? I'm so sorry.
It is quite interesting to watch. I do quite like your approach inside that group is quite interesting, and what you've done with your clients, I think is quite an interesting way of doing it. And it does work. Like you say, people need it. They need that level of accountability, and they need someone to call them out whenever they need calling out on it. And it's almost like the best way I think I could. Yeah, it's got a balance. I think a good way to describe it is that you need somebody to give them a cuddle whilst holding their feet to the fire at the same time.
Yeah, that's it. I give them a cuddle to feel better, but I choke them.
Yeah.
That's it. I will say that I am obviously brutal, and I will say that as it is, but I also give that motivation kickback to say to them, look, as long as you can fall 20 million times, but as long as you keep getting up to fall, I don't care. You quit.
Yeah, as long as you keep going.
That's when I'm like, get away from me.
Yeah. As long as you don't quit, you just keep moving forward. That's all that matters, isn't it?
That's what I do to tell them. Look, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Just keep going.
I'll tell you another thing I like to quickly touch on as well is that the process you went through from when Corona Fit, whatever it was called at the start, and how the shred developed from that, and how you had this shred. And now it's like, I'm going to put this simple thing together. I'm going to put it out there. It's not going to be perfect. Yeah. It's almost like the whole idea of like it needs to be perfect or an ego or anything like that was gone. It's like, I'm just going to get it out there, let people give me feedback and improve on it. That, I think, is such a cool thing.
Yeah, the best thing about it is when people, there's people that did it in July and August, now are back on it. So they did it back then, and now they're back on it, and then they'll say, oh my God, the difference is incredible. Because, remember, I didn't know how to use PTD. I didn't know what I was doing. So I did what you said, and that was literally just play with it and do what you want. You can't break it. So I literally put more and more stuff in it and figured out that I didn't need to add all of this and panic about doing everything else. And then learning between the different group sets to add one in to be able to remove one out when it's not being used anymore. And if I wanted to try something, it was to add another group on top rather than creating one big group, then having to dismantle that. That was the whole thing I had to get my head around. So once I literally became confident enough in using PDT, that's where it developed better and better. So like I even told you, I've already done it, my shred for April. It took me 7 minutes. Yeah. So 7 minutes work and I'll sell it on. So, I mean,
It's so much easier. I can remember the day it clicked when you rang us. I was like, such a crowd.
I was literally like a kid just got the PlayStation 5 for Christmas.
Yeah, it's like, it's so quick. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was cool when you
It was
rang up for that.
literally, it was like a switch. It was crazy. But I think the bad side of what I was doing was I wasn't trying it. So when I was sat in front of it, and because I didn't know what I wanted to do, it was like a writer's block. You don't know you don't know what's going to go on from pen to paper. So it's literally a case of, okay, well, it can sit in the background. Clearly, it's not for me. Clearly, it's not for me. And then obviously, as soon as that switch clicked of me having a go and then developing one to another, I mean, this has got to be like, I don't know, shred design 50 of the amount of different things I've had to input in. Now, my academy, that's got, I mean, I do a Zoom class fitness that goes onto my academy. Any of my training programs I do for myself, that goes on my academy. I do Q&As once a week on a Wednesday to my group, so then they can ask me loads of questions, and I do an hour's talk, and so anyone can ask me any questions. And then what I do is I give that personal feel as well. So everyone has to check in to me personally. So they will message me every Monday for a check-in. So all I do is thumbs up to people, or I try and get to them, and then they do that. And the academy's grown so much, and it's got more and more coming to it. As soon as the gyms open up, that's when I can start doing more video content training and stuff. So I've already got a plan ready for the future of what's coming towards it as well, to keep it going. I mean, but people have been in my academy now since the start, and they love it still. You know what I mean? Because everything goes from, if you're doing weight loss, are you doing building? Are you doing maintaining? Do you just want to be fit and healthy? Just want this. It works for literally every single person. They've just got to select the content that's in it that matches to them. And that's
pick their route they want to take, and they follow that route they want to go. And
it takes me nothing. Do you know what I mean? I sit there and have a laugh with the clients on my group as well. So when we're doing it, we talk about different things. Like I've got one tonight at 6:00. So then we're going to talk about, I've already said to them, we'll talk about weight fluctuation versus fat loss. So they already know what they're doing. So when I use PTD, everyone gets an email sent out automatically saying this is what it's about, log on, or set a time so you can watch it on its, I'll put it at the top, pinned it at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, so everybody's aware of what it is. And then I'll say to someone, have you got something specific you want me to talk about? Yeah, it's just constant content all the way through, but nothing specific to one person.
Yeah, I think what I like about your model as well is because it's a lower priced model. I'm not going to say lower end because it's not, like, it's high quality stuff that's in there, but like a lower priced model, it allows you to have more numbers coming through. But it's like it's not, I won't say less work, but it's like you don't.
Nobody's going to miss £6. Nobody's going to miss it. And if they get in the training, no one's going to miss a tenner a month.
Yeah.
So I mean, nobody's going to miss it. So my way of thinking is, I mean, yes, of course, at the first start, the only thing I wanted to do was the £20 shreds. So I kept thinking to myself, well, sell 100 of those a month. That's £2,000. So I mean, so each time I've done that, that's brought me enough money in to not even have to worry. I just literally click a copy and paste. And that's it, but yeah, it's £6.
I think when you do that shred though, yeah, the £6 nothing, is it? And when you have this kind of flagship model, this offer, this shred, this like 4-week shred or whatever, it doesn't really matter what it is, I suppose, but like in your case, a 4-week shred.
Yeah.
The idea that you can then, when you're in there, you've already sold something to them as well. So it's like, well, where do you go next? And even if they think they might not need to do it, you might as well put them somewhere. And then that academy, it just builds up and builds up and builds up.
Yeah, and all the way through the group as well. I mean, the funniest thing is, I would say 20% of people that buy my shred don't even activate it, which is funny. And then they'll come to me 3 months later and say, "Hi, can I redo the shred? I'm ready now." Of course, absolutely. But I mean,
just fill this in.
Yeah, so all the way through the 4 weeks though. Remember now, I have people in my group that are already on the academy. So now they're eating takeaways, they're drinking alcohol, they're doing everything like that. So everyone on the shred's like, well, they're still making goals and they're having alcohol and takeaways. I want that. So now what we do is then they get each week they get an email from me just saying to them, look, just keep going. The end is nigh for not for just going with that for 4 weeks. Do you know what I mean? Because I always say to them, look, you've gone with that for 4 weeks now. Do you have to want to go with that again? No. So let's control it now. Let's rein it in. So I mean, and when they're like, when can I have a treat? So you've had enough treats. That's why you're shredding. So I mean,
I tell you what, I think that leads quite nicely on to the bit about the community there as well, how they're seeing people inside that community. One of the things we talk a lot about with our clients, you've covered a lot of it already, like keeping it simple, just getting something out there, getting feedback and improving it. That's the simplest way of doing it, because then you learn how to use the software, you learn how to go live with stuff, you learn what you need to put in there, you let your clients kind of help you decide where you want to go. But that also leads to that community. And I think the community is not just about supporting your clients like you're doing in there already with your lives and things like that, but it's that they get to see what else is there. Like your community can be used as a way to sell into other programs. These people in there become like almost your ambassadors and your champions to your business. And so like, go and do this and go and do that.
You have to remember as well, the gyms are opening soon. So then people want to start getting more programs done that way. So if they wanted more of a specific program to themselves, then it can be upsold. I mean, I'm not one really for wanting to do that kind of a program thing, but I would never say no. But that's why I always say, come to my studio. You want to be trained? Come to my studio. I mean, you're back at work now. Furlough's over. Let's prep for you. So my group, my fitness family, it's allowed me to open all the doors to all my companies, to everybody. So that, I post everything on there that we do. So when my chefs have done the food, the pictures go on there. So I thought, oh my God, they look amazing. I want some of this. So it keeps it off my public Facebook into that world of they're only in that group because they want to be. Do you know what I mean? So whatever I post now, they're not going, oh, for God's sake, another post. Oh my, for God's sake, another one. So it's allowing me to be able to have that family feel that they have, to open all of everything for them and to be able to boost them up, to be able to give them whatever they want.
Nice. I think I'm concerned about your time. I don't know how much time you've got, but I want to talk a little bit about the...
Plenty of time, Paul.
All the time in the world for you.
That's all right then. We're chatting for hours. We're chatting away till 6. We'll just go live. The rest of your guys as well. We'll chuck them all on. So I want to talk a bit about the advertising stuff you did and the marketing and kind of how that worked and things. But before we kind of get onto that, there's one part of it that I know some trainers do struggle with who are on this group, and some coaches do struggle with, and that's we talk about your shred, and I'm asking this because I know this happened. So like you've got your shred, and you call it the shred, and even though a lot of people, some trainers will say,
let me just point out this as well. When the word shred, I hate. Okay, just so people.
This is what I'm about to talk about.
So people don't make the wrong assumption that I am literally giving out a 900 calorie diet plan for everyone else. It's not. The word shred just is. It's like putting. If you want to sell porn, you'll put a big word on there to bring the men up. Okay, so shred just brings people towards me. That's it. It's not
and that's what I was actually going to ask you about, because I can remember when you first did this, that you'll put it out there, shred, and people had this assumption, or other trainers, not people, like your clients, the ones who want to buy, were purchasing from your left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
But online, I know you'd get a little bit of, well, I'll put it this way, you used to have a haters gonna hate type campaign at one point, I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And it's just, what would you say to trainers out there who do that, and they are worried about that backlash they might get from the stuff they put out there?
You know me, I absolutely thrive on people that hate me. The only reason being is because I know I'm doing it right. I mean, when I first started the shred, I mean, the amount of personal trainers around where we live, wow. I mean, it was constant hate after hate. Personal trainers and their stupid 4-week programs, they don't work, and come to me if you want this, come to me. And then 6 months later, it's come to me if you want your 4-week training program. Well, see, look, guys, it's not a 4-week training program, okay? So I just kept using them. So I always used to say to people, because people would be like letting me know that these personal trainers are saying it. So I mean, and it was just laughable because, I mean, like you've got personal trainers that are going to do. I mean, it's not a laughable thing that they had to go and find another job, but it was laughable that what they felt they needed to do was voice their opinion about what I was doing, even though their business was taking a dive. I mean, so like, I embraced it a lot because I always used to say to people all the time, and I mean, you've seen my status as where I am, but when I say to people, anybody coming to the fitness industry, anyone starting to be a personal trainer, the best advice I can give anybody is don't care about anyone else. If another personal trainer is doing something, don't put on your status going, oh my God, just seen a personal trainer doing this, doing that. Nobody cares. So the best thing I've always done has been in everybody's face. I will literally post everything. I will start little bitty comments to people, but in a nice way. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, thank you very much for talking about me, guys. At least I'm making an impact. Because, I mean, I always say to everybody, if you've got a business, you need people to know you've got a business. I mean, otherwise, who's going to come to you? So the best thing you can do about your business is talk about your business. You can brag about your business. You can post about your business. Because the worst thing anybody can do is not message you to get in your business. That's it. You can have people call you up names and some, but it's literally nothing. Well, so what? Why not message me to ask me how I've done it? So then you can do it. Why don't we team up so we can all be there together? Because I've always said as well, no personal trainer in the whole world is my competition, and no personal trainer to anyone else in the world is their competition. We're all personal trainers in our own business. If somebody comes to me, it's because they saw something I did that they want. If somebody goes to some other personal trainer, they saw something that they did that they want. Okay, you'll never have someone go, 5 personal trainers lined up. Who do I go to? Who do I know?
You're not picking items off a shelf, are you? It's not
is it?
What brand coach shall I get today?
Which brand PT do I go to this week? Do you know what I mean? It's right. Okay, well, Ady's showing me something that I want, so I'll go to him. Or this person is showing me something I want, so I'll go to him or her or whoever it is. You know what I mean? There's no competition in the world. With the industry. And this is what I keep telling all the personal trainers I've ever trained and helped. Wow, don't worry about anyone else. Don't go, oh, they're busier than me. Because you will. If you work at it, you'll be just as busy as them. You can be better than them. Nobody's my competition except myself. And you know what I mean? That's it. I want my business to succeed. And I don't think, oh, well, they're a competition. I mean, I've had personal trainers that have got open their own studios. Ady, can I ask you some advice? Yes, pal, of course you can. Yes, mate, of course you can. Yes, of course you can. So when they ring me up and ask me, I'm like, yeah, of course. And I mean, Ady, I'm opening a gym on the same street as you. Good for you. Good. You know what I mean? That was Pete. I'm like, good for you, bro. That's it. That's amazing. Well done. So what? He says, and it's not a conflict, is it? Well, no. Because my clients will come to me, your clients will go to you.
I mean, there's plenty of gyms on your street anyway, already. Like, it's not really...
If your clients go to me, that means you did something wrong. So I'm not your competition. You've just not been very good. And it's vice versa. If my clients leave me and go to someone else, clearly I wasn't what they wanted, so they've gone seeking someone else. It's nothing to do with competition to me. In my mind, people will come to me, people will go to you, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? I think if you focus on you, then that's all that matters, isn't it? Don't focus on the other stuff. It's not important. It's not going to get you anywhere, is it?
There's a lot of bitchiness and hatred and stuff like that between personal trainers, and they don't need to be at all. I mean, what does it matter? Oh my God, he's doing a 4-week shred. So, oh my God, I charge £800 for a 12-week program. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. I hope it works.
Yeah, it just depends on what they want to do, isn't it? I think it's a really nice thing I've always liked about your stuff. Your approach is just like, you don't really worry or care too much about what people think or do. It's just focus on what works for you, your business, and your clients. And
that's it. I've got my own kids.
Approach to have.
Do you know what I mean? I've got my own kids and put a roof over their head. Why would the opinion of another personal trainer make me not do that?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Definitely. So the other thing I want to talk about then is hopefully people who heard that will actually think about what they're going to put out there, not worry too much about what they're actually putting out there. And I think you've really hit the nail on the head. Unless you talk about it. Yeah.
Scream your head off. Do your little talks while you're walking down, doing your little cardio walks. Do a video. I've got another thing coming. Can't wait for my new program to start with my online coaching. Let people know. Keep talking. Do one every day. Do 3 a day. Doesn't matter. Keep talking.
Keep chatting. If people don't know about you, they ain't gonna know about you.
Exactly. How can people contact you if nobody knows who you are?
Yeah.
Scream from the rooftops.
So talk about screaming from the rooftops. When we talked about how you kind of grew and it grew through the through lockdown, the pandemic, and things like that. Can we talk a bit about what you actually did to kind of grow? Like obviously screaming from the rooftops, like posting, all that kind of stuff there. But are there any like techniques you use now to help share that? Like how do you scream from the rooftops? How do you get your clients to scream from the rooftops on your behalf? What kind of approaches and things do you get them to do?
The first thing I did was advertise the fact that I was offering a shred program for just £20. Then I explained what you got within it, and then I did a video. So obviously I did a screenshot video of my phone touring the app, and then I literally shared it out. So as I shared it out, people was buying it from me. So what I did was I used them to my advantage. So each person that bought it, now bear in mind 147 people bought it on my first go. And I screenshotted, now this is what took the work, but wasn't. I screenshotted my advert for the shred. So I just made it simple. Shred with obviously you've seen it with the line going through it like a stop sign, like that. So all I said was, right, okay, so thank you very much for purchasing my shred, blah, blah, blah. Will you do me a favor? Will you now go on your Facebook and share this picture with the status saying you are now going to do Ady James' shred program to lose weight, and tag me. So the rules were they had to tag me, obviously, and share this picture. So everybody did it. Everybody that purchased that shred did it. So you think even if the algorithm was the smallest and it was only 10 people saw it per person, so I mean 147 people at least, or around about that figure, shared the post. So now all of their friends wanted to join on. So I'd say by the end of the whole share program or the share project that I set out to do, 147 people bought the shred for that 1 month. Now I started advertising it the second week in June, and I said I'm going to start it in July. So that's
just for clarity, when you say advertising, you're talking organic, like you're posting it on your social networks and things like that.
I literally did a status on Facebook. That's it. Nothing. No advertising. I have never paid for sponsors or adverts or Facebook things. Never, ever paid for anything. Ever. All I do is use. So obviously, what I did was then move up to the 4 weeks. So 2 weeks in to my shred, I then got people to then share how they was feeling, how they was finding it, and what they was doing. So they did. So then they also advertised the fact that I was going to do another one the following month, and so on and so forth. So yeah, by the end of it, since July till now, I think I've sold over 1,000 shreds.
Nice.
Yeah, but the academy started in September. I started it in September, but I didn't push it until January.
That's cool. I tell you what, I do like the process you've got there, and I think it's interesting that a lot of people we work with don't always do when they first start off, and it's a technique that we've recommended to a lot of people if they don't really know how to approach things. Is literally just ask your clients to sing about you and talk about you. Like it's a weird thing. A lot of people don't like doing it. I don't know why, but people don't like always asking for referrals or asking, even if it's not referral, just ask to share that you're doing it. It's a really good, easy, free technique.
I always started with do us a favour, help
Yeah.
boost my business. That's it.
Yeah.
And then
And
they're
most
like,
people will,
"Yeah,
won't they? Most people are inherently nice to
they're happy to."
share. Yeah.
Obviously, I turned around and said, during these rough, horrible times, I'm a struggling PT. Please, so much. I
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. But I think I do quite like that approach you've had. It's very, like, your actual system is quite methodical.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. I like it. As we've been going through this, been writing down like these kind of like, well, 6 steps, if you like, of well, 7 technically, of the process you kind of went through, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Which is like, you kind of, I think to me anyway, just because I know a year, it's not really an extra step, but like, I know you've always had a goal, like you've always known what you wanted and you have a purpose for doing things, like especially now with your kids and the family and things like that. It's such an important part of your life. Like, you know what you're driving forward to do for, and like it, I guess it does drive you forward to have that purpose and things like that for it. And I think as well, you've always had this, to me, you've always had this like entrepreneurial approach to stuff. Like, it's always been something you've kind of wanted to do, even though you've had other jobs and things. You've always liked that idea. And I think that shows quite strong in especially in the lockdown, because a lot of people, two things tend to happen when kind of shit hits the fan like it did. You can either be a bit more victimized and just take a step back and don't do anything about it, or you can haul ass and do something about it. And
a lot of people tend to have done that as well, where they've literally just accepted the fact that they're going to crawl under the rock.
Yeah, which is a shame, really, because when these things happen, it's actually the better time to do it. If you've got cash, especially, I think some people, it could have been really bad time. You could have just started, could have had no cash reserves set up, and that is unlucky. But I think as long as you've got some cash reserves made up and you've done things like you've done the online stuff, but instead of actually just taking the money from it, you've reinvested it and you've done the studio that you've been doing. I mean, to build and launch a new studio during the lockdown is crazy.
This just proves as well where the hate comes from, because I have literally just built my studio. You've seen it, and then there's already rumours saying that I've had a bounce back loan and stuff like that. I've had nothing. I have not done the self-employment thing. I've not done no bounce back loans, but. Yeah, so I got. That's what I heard last night. That,
it's crazy. So if anyone watching, I know he hasn't. I know for a fact he hasn't. Just took all the money he was online and put it back into his business. That's all.
I earn to reinvest. That's it. So I'll put it.
It's an important thing. It's a different approach, isn't it? To invest in your own business and invest in yourself is such an important thing.
I am ready to go on a cruise holiday now.
Well, hey, let's come along. We'll have a joint cruise. It's the way forwards. But yeah, I think that's an important aspect. That's something I always quite admired about your approach to things is how you approach things in that way. And you have no issue reinvesting in stuff and just worrying about you and your goals of what you want to do. For you and your family is like a really, really cool thing and a cool approach to have.
Yeah, the other side of it as well is I knew that whilst I was in my gym, personal training in my gym, my groups was a little bit too cramped in there. So this is for my own business, but for my clients as well that have been with me. Some of my clients have been with me from day one. Do you know what I mean? From 6 years ago, they've still been my clients, and do you know what I mean? It's a family that I have. So not only have I done it for my business, I've invested my money into the studio so that they have the best facilities to be able to come in and train as a family. Do you know what I mean? So some of them are literally like, they're so excited to be able to see each other again and do that. So when all that's allowed and stuff, do you know what I mean? We've got a better facility now for them to be able to come and do that. And I've invested my money in what I call my family, because all of my clients, I mean, as personal trainers now, you go through that personal, do you know what I mean? That personal rapport that you build up with your clients, and you know more about them than what just personal trainers. As a personal trainer, also years and years of training all these, so I've invested that for them as well. So I mean, so they now have the best facilities. My kids have got everything that I can invest for to be able to give them a good life as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's always been important to me to do that, because I mean, I came from nothing, had nothing.
Literally,
7 years ago on a mattress.
Yeah. I know we haven't really talked too much about that because I didn't know how much detail you wanted to go into, like your actual past. But yeah, like whether you want to talk about it, it's entirely up to you. But just to say to people listening, like Ady was in quite a bad situation at one point, and then worked his ass off to get to where he is now, and it's just go from that to this is incredible, really.
Yeah, 3 bags of clothing and a spare bedroom mattress on my mate's bedroom floor. That's all I had. Not even a penny to my name.
No, it was it's impressive though what you've done so far. I mean, there's one thing I do want to quickly mention as well, like just to talk.
I wouldn't change any of it, mate. That mattress was more comfy.
Really comfy mattress, as long as it's a comfy mattress. Cool. I think we've covered plenty of stuff on there. A lot of people have been hanging around. Tom roughly about an hour. I know it's gone over a little bit, so apologies to people I've made to go over. But obviously, if we're hanging around, that's all that matters. Is there anything you want to kind of like recap things with? Anything you want to like? If you was going to give any advice to anybody here now, like around sensitive advice, what would it be?
The best advice I can give anybody regarding using their online is, if there's something that you feel that you want to do for yourself, like I have literally built my academy, so I've built it so that it's like the community thing there, but it's not the normal thing that a personal training program would entail. So if you can use it to your benefit to be able to train how you want to, like your niche of training, like that's what mine is. I won't. I find it easier to train bigger groups of people just to change their life around, not body transformations as such. It's literally healthier, getting away from all the facade of be scared of the gym and do this diet, do that diet. So, if there's something that you prefer to do yourself, but in approach PTD, definitely give yourself 2 hours in front of your computer and just have a play around. So I even said to Ash, there's no self-destruct button in PTD. So the best advice I can give you is literally have a play. See what you can do, okay? And just create a few groups. Create them. You can delete them afterwards. But I wish I'd have done this when I first started, do you know what I mean, a year ago. Because then I think to myself, where could I have been now with it? But now I'm just thinking to myself, I know where I want to be from now. So it's going to keep going and keep pushing. And I'm hoping to have doubled the amount by the end of the year. So I'm looking for, I want to be able to have at least 500-600 on the academy. And we'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to hold you accountable to that now. I'm going to bring you back on this time. You ain't got at least that.
I don't mind. I mean, I love PTD. It gave me something whilst through the lockdown and kept me in touch with a lot more people. So this is why I said PTD is probably the best thing that I could have had during lockdown, because it saved me and my business. My gym shut down and stuff like that. I could have carried on doing Zooms, but that would have sent me over. I still do a Zoom now, but it's if I want it. That's it. PTD's literally saved everything that I could possibly have thought of. I have a new studio now because of the work I was able to do through PTD. So you know what I mean? As always, Ash, I have a lot to thank for you.
That's all right, mate.
As always.
That's always nice to hear. It's always nice to hear. Cool. I think that's a nice little note to finish on anyway, and to kind of round things up on that. Like, mate, I really appreciate you coming on here and taking your time out on what's normally your day off.
I hope not too many people has been bored watching. And
hopefully not.
If it helps one person, it was worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the way I look at these things. As long as it helps one person, I'm always happy. So, like, if anyone's got any questions, by the way, for Ady at all, he's obviously in this group, so I'm sure he won't mind if you tag him into a few things inside here and ask him some questions and things like that. I know he's very happy to.
If anybody does want more of a just a bit of a chat, so I can explain more of what I do within my shred or my academy, I don't mind arranging a 30-minute Zoom chat with somebody just to help, if it can help anybody out. Remember, nobody's anybody's competition.
Exactly, definitely not. And I think the more we can work together, talk to each other, like the better. That's why these groups are so cool, I think, because it's just a bunch of PTs who just work and help each other out. And it's such a nice environment to be in. And we're such a cool industry and a growing industry at that as well. It's there's a lot of cool stuff to come, I think. For
It is growing massively. There's more bloody PTs and cockroaches.
there is at the moment. It's a good job there's a lot of people that need PTs, isn't it? Anyway, cool. On that rate, then, well, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate you coming on, and thank you everyone else for hanging around and listening in and staying with us for what's a little over an hour now. Appreciate your time. I'll be back next week with, I've no idea, I can't remember who I'm interviewing next week, but it will be somebody. But I'll let you know inside the group. And yeah, cheers everyone. Thanks a lot, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.